Athena is the Olympian goddess of wisdom and war, and the adored patroness of the city of Athens. A virgin deity, she was also somewhat paradoxically associated with peace and handicrafts, especially spinning and weaving. Majestic and stern, Athena surpassed everybody in both of her main domains. In fact, even Ares feared her, and all Greek heroes asked for her help and advice. Athena's name is closely linked with the city of Athens. The ancient Greeks debated whether she got her name after the city or the other way around. Modern scholars usually agree that the former was the case. In art and literature, Athena is usually depicted as a majestic lady with a beautiful but stern face, unsmiling full lips, gray eyes, and a graceful build, emanating power and authority. She is also always regally clad in either a chiton or a full armor. In the former case, she is sometimes represented with a spindle. In the latter's case, she wears an elaborately encrusted Corinthian helmet and holds a long spear in one hand and an aegis in the other. At the center of her aegis is oftentimes the image of a Gorgon's head, symbolizing the gift she got from Perseus, the head of Medusa. Just like Medusa's eyes, Athena's shield can also turn her enemies to stone. As a symbol of her wisdom, there is always an owl flying in Athena's vicinity or sitting on her shoulder. From time to time, there may also be a snake or an olive branch. Athena was one of the most important Olympian gods, and she had many functions. Unsurprisingly, she was also known under many very different epithets. Some of the most famous were Virgin, Pallas, the unwearying one, the one of the city, the one with the gleaming eyes, and the one who fights in front. Athena was born in the most miraculous circumstances. On learning that Metis, his next child, would overthrow him, Zeus swallowed his first wife, who was already pregnant with Athena. When the time came, Zeus started feeling tremendous headaches. As even he could not bear them, Hephaestus struck him with his axe, and lo and behold, Athena leapt out of Zeus's head, fully armed, and with a cry so mighty and fearsome that Uranus and Gaia were shaken to their bones with terror. Zeus was delighted and full of pride. As a child, Athena had a friend who she loved above all. Her name was Pallas, and she was all but her equal in the art of war. However, one day, as they were practicing some martial exercises, Athena accidentally killed her friend. Grief-stricken and in an attempt to preserve her memory, she added her friend's name to her own. That's why many people know Athena as Athena Pallas. Just like Artemis and Hestia, Athena was never swayed by love or passion. Consequently, she never had any children. Some say that Erysichthonus was an exception, but in fact, Athena was only his foster mother. True, Hephaestus did try to violate her, but she fought him off. So he spilled his seed over the earth, after which Gaia was impregnated. When Erysichthonus was born, Athena took him under her wing, just like she would do afterwards with another cult hero, Heracles. Poseidon and Athena had a much publicized quarrel over who deserved to be patron of the most prosperous Greek city, Athens. Poseidon claimed that the city would benefit more from him than Athena, and to prove this, he struck his trident into the rock, creating a seawater stream that welled up in the temple of Erectheon. on the north side of the Acropolis. Smart as she was, Athena did nothing spectacular. She merely planted an olive tree. However, the first king of Athens, Cecrops, who was the judge of the contest, realized that the olive tree was much more beneficial, since it gave Athenians fruit, olive, and wood. Athena was a master artisan, as much as she was the woman counterpart of Ares, as the war goddess. She was also the female equivalent of Hephaestus when it came to arts and crafts. Homer said Athena fashioned ornate and luxuriously embroidered robes for Hera and herself. Some even say that she combined her two main interests to invent the war chariot and even the warship. However, the most famous myth, which connects Athena to handicrafts, is the story of Arachne. Arachnophobia, remember that one. A mortal craftswoman who boasts that she was more skillful than Athena herself. Athena offered her a chance to repent, but after Arachne refused, she challenged her to a weaving duel. The goddess fashioned a beautiful tapestry which illustrated the gruesome fate of mortals who had the hubris to challenge the gods. Arachne, on the other hand, chose the subject of mortals, unjustly victimized by the gods. She didn't even have a chance to finish it. Enraged and offended, Athena tore Arachne's fabric to pieces and turned her into a spider. So, as such, Arachne is doomed to weave ever since. As a war goddess associated with wisdom, unlike Ares, who is associated with mere violence, Athena was often the main helper of the ancient Greeks' greatest heroes. Most famously, she guided Odysseus during his 10-year-long journey back to Ithaca. But she also helped many others, such as Heracles, Perseus, Belphyron, Jason, Diomedes, Argus, and Cadmus. Contrary to popular belief, Athena is not a war goddess in the same sense of Ares. While both deities are associated with war, their main roles are fundamentally different. Athena is referred to her strategic thinking, wisdom, and diplomacy, whereas Ares embodies the violent and chaotic aspects of war. This misconception often overshadows Athena's connection to peace, as she sought to resolve conflicts through wisdom and negotiations, rather than brute force. Although many more commonly associated with the arts of war and weaving, Athena was also credited with the creation of the flute and the trumpet. This demonstrates her influence on the arts and highlights her multifaceted nature as both the goddess of wisdom and creativity. Athena's relationship with animals is another little-known aspect of her mythology. In addition to her iconic association with the owl, symbolizing wisdom and knowledge, Athena is also linked with the serpent. The serpent represents transformation, rebirth, and the ability to navigate complex challenges, reflecting Athena's own attributes as a wise and resourceful goddess.